Chosen One, this is not just another video. This is your wake-up call. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could shift the very frequency of your spirit. And if you feel this stirring your soul already, type 77 in the comments. Let the heavens see your declaration. Have you ever taken a single bite, just one, and felt your spirit sink, as if a storm cloud swept over your soul? That wasn't coincidence. That was a warning. A silent alarm from the temple of your body, crying out that something unclean has crossed its threshold. In a world where everything looks edible, not everything is meant for you, chosen one. The enemy no longer attacks with swords and noise. Today, he comes disguised as sweetness, as convenience, as comfort. That candy bar, that fast meal, that midnight snack you grab without thought. Each one has the power to either fuel your purpose or fog your perception. And here's the truth, few will tell you. Not all poison tastes bitter. Some comes sugar-coated, served with a smile, packaged in distraction. But your spirit knows. It always knows. That heaviness you feel after a rushed meal, that sudden anxiety after artificial flavors, these are not small matters. These are spiritual signals. Chosen one, you cannot afford to ignore them anymore. The stakes are too high. Your mission is too great. And your vessel, it's sacred. If this resonates, pause now. Type in the comments. I honor the vessel. And if you feel led, support this message with a super thanks, because together, we're awakening souls to the unseen war happening on their plates. Let's go deeper, because what you eat isn't just about hunger, it's about your battle for alignment. Look down at your plate. It looks simple, harmless. But what if I told you that plate is a battlefield? Every bite is a choice, every meal a silent war. And the weapons? They don't look like swords. They look like processed snacks, sugary drinks, foods made in haste by hands that carried no love. When you consume without discernment, you unknowingly invite confusion into your spirit. You dull your clarity. You silence your discernment. Because food isn't just fuel. It is frequency. It either aligns you with heaven or anchors you in fog. The world tells you to eat everything, to satisfy every craving, to follow appetite, not awareness. But you are not made like the world. You were made sacred. You were set apart. Imagine the mountain lion. It doesn't eat what's easy. It eats what keeps it strong, precise, awake. Imagine the wild fig tree. It refuses to bear fruit in poisoned soil. What are you feeding your roots with? Before your next bite, I challenge you. Ask yourself, is this feeding my mission or my misery? And I want you to declare in the comments, my plate is my altar. Because when you type those words, you do more than comment. You claim your alignment, you declare your awareness. And if this truth is hitting home, hit like, hit subscribe, because your journey is just beginning. And now, chosen one, let's unveil the deeper truth. What you swallow shapes what you become. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the wild blueberry growing in the harshest conditions. It thrives not because life is easy, but because its roots are deep, its nourishment pure. That is your calling. You were designed to flourish on what is honest, natural, sacred. But here's the danger. When you swallow what was born in greed, processed in darkness, served in rush, you swallow not just food, you swallow the energy behind it. And that energy doesn't disappear. It becomes part of you. It shapes your thoughts. It clouds your prayers. It mutes your purpose. Have you felt it? the fog that creeps in after fast food, the disconnect that follows a sugar binge. That wasn't just your body reacting. That was your spirit sounding the alarm. Because Chosen One, low-frequency food leads to low-frequency living, and your destiny is too great to risk that. Chris Pratt found clarity through sacred eating. Viola found healing through a simple fast. What will you find when you choose alignment over appetite? If this speaks to you, type, "I choose food that fuels my purpose." Let's fill this space with declarations that shake the digital world. And if you feel stirred, share this message, because somewhere someone is eating themselves into silence, and your share could be their wake-up call. Stay with me, Chosen One, because in the next part of this journey, we will expose the invisible war waged through sugar, sodium, and the silent silencing of your soul. Make sure you're subscribed. Your awakening has only just begun. Chosen One, let's strip away the illusion. The enemy doesn't always come with a roar. Sometimes he comes disguised as a craving for sweetness, a craving for salt, a craving for comfort. And every time you reach for that sugar-loaded snack, that sodium-drenched meal, you think you're satisfying hunger, but you're feeding silence, spiritual silence, because sugar isn't just sweet, it's subtle sabotage. Sodium doesn't just flavor your food, it fogs your discernment. You've felt it, that rush, that crash, the racing mind, the restless heart, the sleepless nights, all from what looked like an innocent indulgence. But what if I told you that indulgence wasn't feeding your body, it was feeding your disconnect? There is an invisible war waged through every processed bite, a war that dulls your spiritual hearing, clouds your vision, weakens your resolve. The world tells you it's harmless. The world calls it normal. But you weren't called to normal. You were called to sacred. Imagine the lion who refuses spoiled meat because survival depends on precision. Imagine the pine tree drinking only from the purest groundwater because its strength depends on purity. Why then would you, Chosen One, consume what poisons the temple God entrusted to you? Before you reach for the next snack, ask, is this my fuel or my fog? If this is piercing your heart, type it now in the comments. I choose clarity over cravings. And if you want to help awaken more souls, hit share, because this message isn't just for you. It's for every chosen one, losing their light bite by bite. And now, let's reveal what happens when what once fueled your mission becomes the very thing that snares your spirit. What begins as nourishment can become a snare, slowly, silently. At first, that meal gave you energy. That snack brought comfort. But over time, the body forgets the taste of true fuel, and the soul forgets the sound of divine instruction. That's how the enemy works, not with sudden destruction, but with gradual seduction. Think of the fig tree. It refuses to bear fruit in bitterness. It senses when the soil is wrong. Why don't we? Why do we keep feeding on what drains us? Viola, the widow who dreamed of eating what grows upward, found life again when she chose sacred food over sorrow's snacks. But look at the opposite. Look at the fall of those who feasted on excess, whose plates became prisons. Leaders, celebrities, everyday souls who let indulgence mute their mission. Chosen One, your plate can either be your altar or your trap. Every meal is a choice, to align or to drift. Before your next bite, whisper this prayer: God, let what enters my body honor what you've placed in me. And tell the world where you stand. Type in the comments, my plate will not be my prison. If this truth is waking something inside you, don't scroll on. Hit like, hit subscribe, because you are stepping into a new level of awareness. And awareness is where transformation begins. But how do you live this out? Let me show you the simple, sacred strategy for eating like the chosen. Chosen one, this is where theory becomes practice. You don't need a complicated diet. You don't need trendy plans. You need spiritual discipline disguised as simple choices. Here's how you eat like the chosen. First, eat what was grown in light, not manufactured in shadows. If it came from soil, sun, and seed, it carries the frequency your body was designed to absorb. If it came from a lab, a factory, or a rushed machine, it carries confusion. Second, eat in stillness. No more meals consumed between notifications, in front of screens, in a hurry. Pause, breathe, give thanks. Let your body receive the food as fuel, not filler. Third, eat with prayer. Even a simple whisper, "Lord, bless this food. Let it align me with you." That's where power begins. Small choices, sacred impact. Imagine the wild blueberry, thriving because it chose clean nourishment in a harsh world. Imagine yourself, rooted, resilient, radiant, not because life was easy, but because you chose what aligned with your mission. Right now, in this moment, decide your first step and type it in the comments. Today, I choose sacred eating. Let's flood this space with declarations that mark the start of your transformation. And if this strategy resonates, support this mission with a super thanks, because every gift helps spread this message to another chosen one, still trapped in food-fueled fog. Stay with me, because your next bite isn't just about hunger, it's about alignment. Your awakening has only begun. Pause. Let that sink in. Your next bite, the one you're about to take without thinking, could change everything. Because chosen one, food is not just fuel. It's a spiritual transaction, a declaration, a decision. Every meal, every snack, every sip either draws you closer to the voice of God or pushes you further into static. You were never called to eat like the crowd, because you were never created to live like the crowd. Your plate is your first altar. Your food is your first offering. That's why the enemy fights you hardest here. Not in the grand decisions of life, but in the quiet moments when you choose what fuels your flesh or feeds your spirit. The fog you've been feeling, the heaviness, the silence in your prayer time, it may not be spiritual warfare, it may be spiritual malnourishment. And the good news? The shift can begin with a single bite. One intentional choice. One whispered prayer. One meal made with love, eaten with awareness, received with gratitude. Imagine standing at the edge of your calling, your body light, your mind clear, your spirit open. Imagine hearing divine instruction, not as a faint echo, but as a living voice. It starts here. It starts now. Chosen one, before you take your next bite, ask, is this feeding my calling? If you feel that tug on your heart, type it in the comments. I will eat like the chosen. Let this be your declaration. And if this message has touched your spirit, hit like, subscribe, share, because someone you know is waiting for this word, and you could be the one to bring it. You are not just surviving, you are becoming, and heaven is watching, waiting for a vessel ready to receive fresh glory. Stay alert, stay aligned, stay anointed. Your next meal may be your next miracle.